Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Band of Anime Reactions, and I figured I'd get at least one more review done before, what time was it? It's 7:46, so I should have time to get at least a few more of these done before I have to stop and start waiting for the technician to show up. They're supposed to show up between 8 and 12, but they usually arrive early, like around an hour into it, depending on, I guess, how long it takes to get their first job done, because I assume that we're not in the first job. Anyway, this is going to be my review for Sword Art Online episode 5. I'm going to try and get episode 6 done as well. That way I can get them both uploaded at the same time, because that was a cliffhanger for me. And thus, the blind reactions for Sword Art Online start. Essentially, Asuna and Kirito have been working together lately, and they end up running into a bit of an issue that doesn't make any sense, essentially. Apparently, when you're in a safe zone, you can get attacked, but your HP won't drop, and thus you can't die. Which is, obviously why it's called a safe zone, which are like towns and stuff like that. So essentially, if you're in a town, you're in a safe zone, so you're safe. Only way your HP can drop is if you're in a duel, but I don't know if you can still die in a duel if you're in a safe zone. I don't know. I know you can die in a duel, obviously, when you're outside a safe zone, because apparently Asuna mentioned that essentially a player killer can pop up with someone who's sleeping. If they're essentially sleeping or taking a nap or whatever, they can manipulate the person's finger to accept the duel, and thus then they can start attacking the person, and the person's sleeping and not fighting back, and they can kill the person in their sleep, which is really unfair, to be completely honest, but them's the rules of the game, or something that people can exploit. Anyway, yeah, the whole reason I brought up the whole safe zone thing, that gets brought into play in these two episodes. That apparently they find someone who is essentially being hanged by their neck over a balcony, and they have a sword or spear or whatever in their chest. Asuna goes to cut him down, and Kirito goes to catch him, but apparently he dies, which is impossible because they're in a safe zone. So they wonder, did the person end up accepting a duel and it just ended up going wrong? Because essentially the person was essentially killed. They were murdered because the way it was set up is that the rope that they're hanging from, it's tied to a piece of wood, and then they were essentially, I assume, shoved out the window to die. So the way it's set up, it looks like that the person accepted a duel. They took a spear to the chest. Whoever it was, put a noose around their neck and shoved him out the window. So someone has essentially planned this whole thing. A girl comes forward and says that she knows the person who got hung and killed, and said that they used to be guildmates, and they had been planning on, meeting up and having lunch or whatever. And yeah, Asuna and Kirito are completely confused as to what's going on, and trying to figure out, obviously, how it could be possible that someone could die in a safe zone. Which, like I said, is impossible. Anyway, dang it, I can't remember what her name is. The girl who was friends with the guy who got killed. She explains that they were part of a guild, and they had found a very valuable ring, and the guild was kind of split on whether to keep it for the guild or sell it. They voted, majority ruled, to sell it. The guild leader went to go sell it, and apparently she got killed. And apparently the ring was stolen. And they assume that it was her ghost coming back to get revenge on the people who were against selling the ring, which makes no sense to me. Because if you die going to sell a ring that your guild voted to sell, wouldn't you go after the ones who ended up putting you in that position in the first place? And not the people who were against sending you there in the first place? Wouldn't that make more sense? Am I the only one who would think that? Because if so, then I'm just nuts, apparently. But anyway, they go and check on the item that was used in the killing, the spear. Apparently, it was made by the husband of the guild leader that got killed. And that's when they find out that the two were married, apparently, in the game, as far as we know. Because we assume that they're not married in real life. That's what they say anyway. Anyway, they go and meet up with her again, and we find out that the only other person, I think, who was against selling the ring, they find the person, they go and tell him what's going on, and he's obviously freaking out. And yeah, here's where the cliffhanger comes in. She gets stabbed in the back by a dagger at the window and falls to her death. Yeah, that ain't cute. Don't do that to us. That especially was not cute when the show was, going in its episodic format where they weren't caught up on, the show. That was essentially the last episode that they uploaded at the time, and that ain't cute. I know it's supposed to get people excited and wanting to watch more the next episode, but don't like it still. Anyway, that's how the episode ended, and yeah, it was interesting to see how we got to dive into more of the game mechanics, the whole safe zone thing, and they believe that it's, what was her name, Griselda's ghost that's doing all this as revenge, and which, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. And you would think that Kirito and Asuna would have picked up on how it doesn't make sense. Because, like I said, am I the only one who thinks like this, or am I just not thinking about that? But anyway. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible that a ghost of a player would show up, because apparently, as far as I know, once you die in the game, I guess your soul leaves the game. Or your soul leaves your body, and your mind leaves the game? I guess? Don't ask me, but, anyway, I am enjoying the show so far, and like I said, I've gotten up to episode 12. If I can get if the people show up early enough and they get it actually fixed, fixed, to where it will not mess up, because the internet messes up from either between 3 hours after getting it working, or 6 hours after getting it to work. And it's getting annoying. But yeah, if they can get it working, and I get a chance to record, I will work on Sword Art Online a little more. Because I've already finished, recording for Katsuki no Yuna, obviously. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys do too, and I will see you all next time.